Namaste everyone, welcome back to my channel Awaken with Pradnyaa. Today I'm making this video to answer questions that somebody asked me on my recent video. And I really appreciate that there are people who keenly listen to every video of mine and they are processing or seriously contemplating on what I'm saying and so keen on understanding about what I'm talking about. All those questions are absolutely valid and I'm sure that there will be a lot of people who may be having these questions in their mind.
There are total 5 questions, but I am addressing 2 questions in this video. And for the remaining 3 questions, I might come up with 1 or 2 more videos.
So let's start with question number 1. Is ego bad? And if not, then what do you mean by ego death? We use this term ego death so much when we are talking about spiritual awakening, and it is a very overused term, especially when it comes to me. I do utilize this term ego death in my Quora answers as well as in my YouTube videos. So when we say ego death, what does that actually mean? So in simple terms, if I want to put forward the definition of what is ego death, I would say that when you thought who you were falls away and who you truly are starts emerging, that I would call as an ego death. And to understand that, I would get into the basic what is ego in the first place. In simple words, ego is the mental construct of your identity. Your name, your story that is related to your personality, your parents, your religion, your race, your age, your preferences, your roles, your traumas, your belief systems, your attachments. The whole story that is weaved around you in this current personality of yours. The ego is the mental construct of this identity that we just talked about. But when our spiritual awakening happens, we start to realize that what we see from our ego mind, what we perceive from our ego state is not the ultimate truth. It is just a mask or a tool to navigate through our physical identity. But there is more to us. We are not just the beings we think we are in our physical selves, but we are more than that when it comes to our soul's truth. And when you start understanding that, when you start recognizing that, when you start remembering that, we would say that you went through the process of ego death. Does that mean that your ego has died and it doesn't exist anymore? No, ego is always going to be with you at every moment when you're living life. Of course, it is not bad because it is absolutely needed for you to function in your matrix life. If you're not having that ego, if you're not having that mental construct of who you are or who you think you are as a physical identity, it will not be possible for you to function. So when we are saying that there is an ego death, what actually is happening? You would definitely have intense emotional purging when it comes to your grief, your trauma, your wounds, your emotional suppression, whatever it is there suppressed inside you. You would stop controlling things outside of you. You will not feel the need to control others, or you will not feel the need to control the situations. And then you will also have the sense of disorientation. You will start asking question, who am I? Am I really this personality that I am thinking I am, or there is something more to me? Or even you would start asking question, what is this life all about? Whatever you believed so far in your life, all those mental structures and belief systems that you have been holding so far in your life would start falling down. So that is very much a process of ego death, that whatever your ego had constructed inside you, according to what your mind perceived, will start falling down. When the ego death happens, you will start functioning from the oneness consciousness. You understand that I am not separate from anything else. Everything is one, everything is part of the unity consciousness. So, to sum up with what I said, your ego is definitely not bad. It is just about we being able to discern when we need to function from our ego and when we need to snap back into our heart center, our soul place, where we are more aware and we know that we are not just the personality that our physical body has, but there is more to our soul identity and we are much more. So I hope I answered that question. Before I progress on to the second question, all those who have not yet subscribed to my channel, please subscribe to my channel and click on the notification icon so that you can get notified with all the new videos that I'm uploading. All those who want to have one-to-one sessions with me, please look for the details in the description of this video. From 10th May, the group sessions are starting. So for all those who need ongoing support, who need to learn something, new tools, new meditative processes, tips for doing inner work, and also different perspectives from different people on their journeys. If you want to be a part of such a community twice a week, every month, the group sessions called Sacred Circles, I'm starting from May 10th. So the link and the information about the group sessions is also given in the description of this video. Then the second question, which is somewhat related to the first one, you said that release all the expectation in life, but it is not even practical to do so. Yes, I do understand that being able to release all the expectations is absolutely not easy, but is it not at all possible? I won't agree to that. We see a lot of ascended masters who have been able to achieve it. So in the human consciousness, being in the human body, it is technically possible to be at a place where you are not having any expectations and you completely surrender to the divine flow and you go with the flow. That is absolutely possible. Now, coming back to your question, you have utilized this word practical. So, if I really want to comment on the state of mind with which you have asked this question, is completely coming from the state of practicality. What seems to be logical to you? So, if you are trying to understand the spiritual concepts or the concepts that require a little bit of higher awareness, if you are processing those concepts from the place of logic and reasoning, you would have thousands of questions like that. And your logic and reasoning will always tell you that this is practically impossible. How can you not have any expectations while you're living? So if you're operating from the solar plexus chakra or the lower chakras than that, I will not relate this whole process to making it a practical possibility or practical ability to do, because it is nothing to do with practicality. Practicality is a trait of solar plexus. We need to process this phenomena, or we need to process this lesson or inner work by coming into our heart center.
And this is where you can connect the dots from the answer I gave for the first question. When your awareness is in your lower chakras, you are operating from your ego. Till the time you're operating from your ego mind, you will have practicality based questions. Anybody who is an awakened person needs to imbibe this ability to mindfully discern between their ego mind and their soul, and they need to choose mindfully from what center of awareness they are operating from. Unless you snap your awareness into your heart center, only then you are going to understand how to deal with your expectations.
Till the point you are not operating from your heart center, you are not feeling integrated in yourself, it would be very much difficult for you to actually be in the state where you are completely okay to not to expect anything from anybody and be in that flow. All of us, including me, I'm definitely not claiming that I have reached a place where I have released all my expectations and I am 100% going with the flow. Yes, I am going with the flow, but here and there, my physical ego will pop up, my desires will pop up, my expectations will get created, right? However, for us who are not like as great as ascended masters, for us, we would keep fluctuating between these states. Like sometimes we will fall back into our ego place. Sometimes we will snap back to our heart center and we will stay there for a long time. So this whole state of expecting or overcoming a certain expectation or being into that expectation will keep fluctuating for a long period of time. Since I started my aggressive awakening and I went into intense dark nights, initially, I had so many expectations from my family, from my mother, from my brother, from my husband, from the whole world around me, my friends. Small expectations that, oh, you need to check on me, or why didn't you call me? Why didn't you come to my house? Or why didn't you care about me? Why didn't you call me on my birthday? There are so many small things that we are attached to when it comes to our regular life. But in due course of time, as I progressed, I am able to release all those expectations. I can say that I am not having any expectations from my relative or from my family. I'm very much detached. I operate from my heart center, and I have that love and compassion for everybody in my family and my friends and my social circle. I won't say I have fully released 100% that every expectation that I had. No, there are a few still, but I think I am in that process. I am on my way to release those expectations, right? It cannot happen that you decided yesterday that I want to overcome this particular expectation and you got over it. It is a huge internal work. Somewhere I feel that we need to accept this, that it's a long way to go. Coming to that state where you have absolutely no expectations and you're truly a surrendered soul going with the divine flow, it's an internal spiritual journey. It cannot be operated from practicality. So I hope that whatever you are asking is sorted in this answer.